Hello and welcome back to Mad Mouse Games. Today we're continuing where we left off with the battle at the Barricade. So we're going to be fighting some monsters. We're going to go ahead and put Toric in the front, and then we will do Niblet next, then Nasir, and of course Sassless in the back. So we were able to get a surprise round from being smart last time. So we are only allowed to do ranged attacks, it said, as part of that. So we're going to go ahead and just get into it. We are going to roll initiative. Okay, so it looks like first of all is going to be the NPCs that I control. So how I do initiative, I just roll once for all the NPCs, and then I roll once for Toric. So the NPCs, they're going to be going on a 17, and then the Shard Hounds on the 13, and then Toric, and then the Crossbow, and then the Warriors. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to get started with it. I'm going to have Niblet go first, who's going to cast Guiding Bolt at one of the Shardling Warriors up on the Barricade. Now, it says that creatures on top of the Barricade have cover from ranged attacks. So I'm assuming they mean like half cover or something, and they get like a little bit of an AC bonus. So instead of it being an AC of 12, I'm going to go ahead and say it's an AC of like 15 to hit anything on top of the Barricade. And then things on opposite sides of the Barricade cannot see each other. So let's roll. Niblet gets a 9, so he misses. So then we will move on to Nasir. I think Nasir is going to do Vicious Mockery. I think that's a good call. So he's going to do Vicious Mockery on, we'll say, the same Shardling Warrior. So they need to make a save. They get a 13, which is not going to be enough. So they will take 1 point of damage, and they will have disadvantage on their next attack. Then we'll go to Sassless. So Sassless has an ability that if he hits somebody who's been damaged, he can deal extra damage to them. So I'm going to have him go ahead and shoot the Shardling Warrior that just got hit by Nasir. That is going to be a 15 to hit, which is going to hit. So now we're going to roll damage. So he gets to do 1d8, and because of his Predator's Eye, he gets to do an extra d6 points of damage. So he's going to deal 12 damage from that. Plus, oh, it's actually 12 plus 4. He did 16 damage, which is enough to way kill that guy. So that is one Shardling Warrior down. And then we would go to the Hound's turns, but because it's a surprise round, we skip them. And we're going to go to Toric. Is going to go ahead and cast, I think just Thorn Whip, actually, on one of the Shardling Warriors to try and pull him off of the Barricade. So he's going to cast that. He's going to miss, and we're going to go to the end of the initiative for this round, and we will restart back at the beginning. So we killed one guy, and we got 3 more on top of the wall, and who knows how many behind the wall. We're going to have Niblet go. This time Niblet is going to use Sacred Fire. Or sorry, Sacred Flame. And he's going to do it on one of the Shardling Warriors. So let's do that. Which is a Dex save. So they get a +1. They get a 7. Which means they fail. They're going to take 1d8 damage. So they take 4 damage. Then I'm actually going to skip to Sassless, and I'm going to let Sassless shoot that guy. So Sassless is going to shoot that guy. He rolls a nat 1, so he misses, and then we'll go to Nasir. Nasir is going to cast Vicious Mockery on the one that just took damage. So they need to make a save. They fail, which means they're going to take 1d4 damage for, wow, another 4. So that's 8 damage on that one. Then we're going to go down to the Hounds. The Hounds are on the opposite side, which means Otherwise, they will ready their action. So there are special behaviors because of the stuff. So it says, until a party member has climbed onto or past the barricade, enemies act in the following way on their turn. If the creature has a light crossbow, it will make a ranged attack on a random party member in range that it can see. Otherwise, it will ready an action to attack the first party member who moves into melee range of it. So, and basically that means that right now we're fighting 3 guys, and everybody else behind is readying their action to attack anybody who comes into melee with them. This I don't think is the best, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so the Shard Hounds, their turn is over. Now it is Torik's turn. Torik will cast Thunder Wave. They both need to make a save. Okay, so the Shardling Crossbow gets a nat 1, and the Shardling Warrior, who already took damage, got a 19. So he's going to save, so he's going to take half damage. Now I'm going to roll thunder damage. 5 plus 8, that's 13. So what happens is the Shardling Crossbow, who failed, gets blown to bits, and the Shardling Warrior has already taken 8 points of damage, so 8 plus 6, that's going to kill him. So he dies too. So 1 Thunder Wave takes out 2 baddies. The only one left on top is the Shardling Crossbow, and it is his turn. So he is going to make an attack on a random party member. I'll roll a d4 for that. A 2 is going to be Niblet. Niblet is closest besides Torik. So it's going to shoot at him. Whoops. A 6 plus 3 is a 9, which is definitely not enough to hit Niblet, excuse me. And so that will be its turn. Then we'll go to the Shardling Warriors, who will, 2 are dead. The other 2 will ready their attack to attack anybody who becomes within melee range of it. Okay. Well, then we're going to go back to the start of initiative, which is going to be my NPCs. So we're going to go ahead and have, let me see here. There is 1 full health crossbow still at the top. So I think Nasir is going to once again cast Vicious Mockery. So we're going to do that. The crossbow saves, so takes no damage. Then we're going to have Niblet go and cast Sacred Flame. And it's going to fail with a 6, so it's going to take 1 point of damage. Then Sassless is going to go. Sassless is going to shoot the crossbow. He gets a 22 to hit. Then he gets to roll 1d8 for his bow, 1d6 for his Predator Eye, and add 4. So it's going to be 6 plus 4 plus 4, so a total of 14 damage, which is enough to kill it. So at this point, all the people on top of the barricade are now deceased. So at this point, I don't think that the players would know that there's anybody behind it. And so Torik is going to go ahead and climb up over the top and see them while the NPCs are still on the ground. And actually, it's going to take them 20 feet of movement to climb it. So, yeah, that's going to suck for Torik. Oh well. Okay. He could do a Vine Whip. You know what? I think he's going to Vine Whip the closest Shardling Warrior to him. So we'll go ahead and make that attack. Nat 20! Alright. I'm glad that we did that. So Torik climbs up to the top. Thorn Whips. Gets a Nat 20 with his Thorn Whip. So that means he's going to do 2d6 damage for 7 damage and pulls him 10 feet closer. Well, that might suck. Then it's going to be the Hound's turns. Nobody is in range of them. So it will double move toward the closest party member. So they're both going to move to the base of the barricade. So Torik's not going to be able to really jump down. And that is when they will end their turns. So now we're going to go to the Shardling Warrior turn. Now the barricade specifically says it costs 20 feet. Unless a party member has climb speed, it takes 20 feet of movement to climb up the barricade. Now, with that being said, 20 feet of movement, I don't know if the shardlings are going to have to do that. I'm going to go ahead and assume they don't have to, and that there's some kind of like stair or ladder on their side of the barricade. I don't know. However, the shardling warriors are now brutes. If they're in range, they'll make an attack, which nobody is. If they're in range of movement, they will move to them and attack them. Okay, well, both of them, I'm going to assume again that there is some kind of like ladder or something they climb up, and they're both going to be able to get right next to Torek on that barricade, and they're both going to make attacks against him. So they both are going to use their pikes. So 2 pike attacks. That's going to be, they're both 12s plus 3. That's enough to hit. 1d10 plus 1 times 2. So that's going to be in 8 plus 1, so 9. And a 6 plus 1, which is 7. So that would be enough to knock Torek down. But Torek has that cool reaction, Bloodless. And he's going to choose to take no damage from the 9 damage attack, which means he's only going to end up taking 7 damage, knocking him down to 6 health remaining. Then we'll go back to the start of initiative, which is going to be my NPCs. Just too bad Torek is in the way. Okay, here's what we're going to do. So Nasir is actually going to move close, and he's going to tell Torek to jump away. And as soon as Torek is out of the way, he's going to cast Thunder Wave. And then we're going to go to Niblet. Niblet is going to cast, I think he's just going to do Sacred Flame on one of the warriors that is up next to Torek. So they'll make a dex save. That's a 10, so they fail. And then they take 1d8 damage, 5 damage. Sassless is going to shoot the one that just got hit with a 22 to hit. So he does his Predator Eye thing, which is another 5, 6, plus 4, 10 damage, which is going to kill one warrior. Then we're going to go to the Hound's turns. Again, they're just kind of stuck at the base of the barricade, I think. I don't think they can get up. So we're going to leave them where they are. As lame as that is, I really think that's what would happen. And there's not a whole lot of information about if the Hounds can climb or anything like that. So then we're going to go to Torek's turn. He's going to disengage and jump back down the barricade, or climb back down, taking 20 feet of his movement, and he'll end his turn at the base. Now that he's out of the way, Nasir is going to cast Thunder Wave. So he's going to mark off a spell slot. I'm actually going to have him cast it as his 2nd level spell, because at the base of the barricade, it technically would move through and hit the Hounds as well. So the Hounds, as well as the warrior on top, all need to make con saves. So the warrior gets a 13, Hounds get a 11 and 12, which means they all fail. And since he upcast it, he gets an extra d8, so it's going to be 3 d8 damage, which is going to be 16 plus 4, 20 damage, which is going to kill the remainder of the baddies at the barricade. If you win this battle, turn to 98. So let's go to 98 then. With the glass folk defeated, you perform a quick search of their camp. You manage to find 8 gold pieces, but little else of value. There are no notes or orders left behind that might explain the barricade. Why were they so keen to keep people away? Perhaps you'll find your answer further up the road. You may take a short rest if you wish. I don't think it's worth it. We didn't really take any damage except for Torek, and they're just going to cast... I'm going to have Nasir cast Cure Wounds on him 1 time. So he's going to go up 12 points. Wow. Max. Okay, so he goes up 12 hit points, so now everybody's back at full hit points. The only thing's been used is a couple of spells and his thing. You gain experience points and turn to 53. The road winds through the hills, through many a wooded area, and past running streams. There's not a soul in sight, hardly surprising, given the road was forcibly closed. To the north, an old tower looms into view, stately and mysterious. To reach it will require a diversion, however. Head north and explore the tower, or stay on the road and press on eastwards. We're gonna go explore that tower. Alright, 88. You break off to the north, scrabbling up steep slopes or treacherous goat trails before arriving at the foot of the tower. A man, dressed in sorcerer's robes, lies dead, with several slain shardlings around him. Beyond the entrance to the tower, a doorless archway looms large. A rope tied to a balcony railing at the very top dangles on the far side of the tower. You examine the dead bodies, enter the tower through the front door, or climb the rope or leave. Let's examine the bodies first. You warily approach the bodies and crouch down to examine them. All of them share the same injuries. They've been battered to death, possibly with clubs. Searching the sorcerer, you find 3 gold pieces and an architectural drawing of the tower. It looks like this man was sent to assess or even repair the tower, though why agents of the Deathless King would be interested in this old structure is unclear. Do you enter the tower through the front, climb the rope, or leave? Let's climb the rope. The climb is tiring but manageable, and being able to brace against the side of the tower helps your ascent. Once the entire party have reached the balcony, you peer into the room beyond. Turn to 131. The room at the top of the tower has a sorcerous feel about it. It seems to serve as both a lab and a bedroom, though its occupant is long gone. A shardling, perhaps the one who lowered the rope, lies dead in the middle of the room. A broken potion bottle lying in pieces beside him. Except for the balcony, only a trapdoor, seemingly locked from the other side, provides an exit. One of your party members shouts a warning from the balcony. A troop of 20 or so shardlings are making their way toward the tower in the distance. With only one way out, your search will have to be quick. Search through the potion rack and try to find useful magic, or open the chest at the foot of the bed, or escape while you can. Well, let's do the chest, I think. Yes, because if it's locked, Nasir has thieves' tools. Let's do that one. Okay, the chest. The chest is locked. Ooh, surprise. If you have a party member with these tools, or an Nasir's in your party, turn to 67. Otherwise, the chest will not open and you have to leave. Okay, good. So, 67. You'll need to be quick if you want to give yourself time to outrun the shardlings. Have Nasir or a party member with these tools make a DC 14 Dex check. If you fail, the chest will not open in time and you're forced to abandon. Okay, well, because we got the boon from the fairies, we actually get advantage on this check. So it's going to be a +5 with the thieves' tools. I got an 18 plus 5 is more than enough. If you succeed, the chest pops open. Within you find 9 gold pieces and a slender apprentice wand. You can use an action on your turn to cast a magic missile spell at first level. The wand may not be used again until the wand may be used again after a long rest. Now turn to 34. Okay, cool. So we just got a wand for Torek. Nobody else can use it, so unfortunately it has to go to him, but that's okay, because he's a spellcaster, so not a problem. It is too dangerous to remain here. Swift exiting the tower, you keep a low profile until you reach the safety of the road. Turn to 16. You make good progress down the winding road, increasing your pace. You hope to make Drottstad before nightfall. Turn to 104. The village of Drottstad is in sight. Sadly, this is where we end our free sample. For now, you have 2 choices. Make a new party, or go and get the full version. Okay. Whatever you choose, good luck on your travels, adventurer. We hope you'll return to the domain of the Deathless King in the near future. Awesome. Well, we will go ahead and end it there then. So this has been a lot of fun. I actually really recommend this project. I'm going to do like a final review where I kind of talk about what I think about this project and things like that. And yeah, so thank you for watching. Leave a like or a comment if you have any questions. Again, a link for you to download this and to find the Kickstarter can be found in the description. Thank you for watching, and until next time.